under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Corman?
Here.
Mr. Taylor?
Here.
Mr. Zwicker?
Here.
Ms. Breyer? Here. Mr. Prince?
Here.
Mr. Person?
Here.
Ms. Palmer? Here. Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all present.
Thank you, Bonnie. First item on the agenda are two special presentations. Chief Peterson, you're first up.
Members of the council, it brings me great pleasure to come before you tonight. Mark Peterson, Fire Chief of the Fire and Emergency Services Department. And I'd like to ask Jerry Gorby, Randy Carnes, Matt Austin, Rick Miller, and Dan Darling to step forward, please. So we're fortunate to have Jerry here with us tonight, the gentleman here on my far left. On the morning of April 26, Jerry, a 41-year-old service supervisor for Cummings Northwest, was not feeling well. Jerry stated that he woke up with heartburn, was sweating at work, and became dizzy. His co-workers were in the process of preparing to drive Jerry to the hospital when Randy Carnes, who was standing next to Jerry, noticed that he didn't look well and asked if he was doing okay. Jerry slumped against the wall, and Randy asked staff to call 911. Matt Austin called 911. Rick Miller checked for a pulse and initially felt a pulse and then nothing. Dan Darling grabbed a Cummings public access defibrillator. Dan and Rick performed CPR. What a team. Didn't have to really think about it, they just did it. Rick, formerly a paramedic in Colorado, administered one shock with the defibrillator, which gave Jerry a pulse again. Shortly thereafter, Engine 14 and Medic 5 arrived. Jerry was transported to Valley Medical Center. Several weeks later, he was back at work performing his job and states he feels so much better and is very appreciative of Dan, Rick, Matt, and Randy's help, and appreciates Cummings Northwest decided to purchase a public access defibrillator in 2010.
Wow.
Another public access defibrillator that's made a difference. If it weren't for these gentlemen here knowing what to do, knowing how to operate a public access defibrillator, knowing CPR, Jerry wouldn't be here today. And we have these gentlemen here to thank for that. And so this is one reason why King County and the city of Renton enjoy one of the best save rates in the world. It's the citizen CPR, it's the dispatcher-assisted CPR instructions, it's public access defibrillator, it's people willing to get involved to make a difference. And I'd like to congratulate them tonight for their heroic efforts in saving Jerry.
Yeah, good idea.
Rick? Thank you. Thank you. Dan. Also, the CEO of Cummings Northwest would like to say a few words if pleases the council. Craig?
Chief Peterson, thank you very much. Council President Corman, thank you. You know, early in my career, I've only been in Renton for 5 months now, and new to Cummings Northwest and new to Renton. Early in my career, I had a mentor who told me, Greg, the most important thing you do as a leader is you spell, you let others speak. And we've neglected to recognize a leader at Cummings Northwest. Bryce Hood runs our operation in Renton down the street. And Bryce is a gentleman I've known now for probably 4 or 5 months. And he's one of those folks that epitomizes the you spell, let others speak. Bryce is maybe not the reason that we had the device at the shop. He may well have been. But Bryce is an incredible proponent of safety and safety devices and a safety attitude at our shop. And so I guess we don't have a certificate for Bryce, but I'd like to extend my thank you to Bryce and my appreciation.
Very nice. Please, as a council, I'd like to have a picture with these gentlemen there, with council.
Bryce. Bryce. We can send you one.
The bottom row is squeezed together. We like each other. That is a big group. All right. All right, take one more here.
The lights in it.
They need the real camera, somebody else. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
It's Thank you, guys, and thanks for coming down here to share the story. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Mark. Next is another wonderful program, Return to Renton Car Show. Jim Magazine.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, well, again, as the mayor said, I'm Jim Medzigian, representing the Return to Renton Benefit Car Show Steering Committee. And we want to thank the City Council and other Renton City officials for allowing us to be a part of this evening's program. We thank you. I'd like to recognize some of our steering committee. They're here today. We should just kind of wave. We've got some here and some back there. Yeah. They're a great bunch of folks to work with, and they really make good things happen in the Renton community beyond just the car show. And again, this year, the Piazza Renton organization teamed up with us. They were a financial sponsor, as well as providing volunteers and equipment. I continue to be amazed at the good work the Piazza Renton organization does and our steering committee. When people started showing up for the show, and our volunteers were real busy setting the early people, and they were setting everything up, people came and says, "Who are those people?" I mean, they were just working on everything, putting things together. And I said, "Oh, just a bunch of volunteers." This year's car show was held on Sunday, July 7th in downtown Renton. It was our 23rd annual. We had 485 classic cars on display, and we estimate about 4,800 spectators, so it was a busy place. We believe both the classic car owners and the spectators were pleased with the show. We received lots of positive comments, and I don't think we received any poison pen letters like we had the past couple of years, and so that's always a good sign. There's still time for them to come, but haven't seen any yet. Our committee, we did have a meeting after the show, and they feel it's probably the most positive show we've had to date. Each year just seems to be getting better and better. We had 65 local sponsored who helped make the show a financial success, and we had net financial proceeds of $17,500. Once again, as in the past, we've had great support from Renton City officials and staff in making the show a success, and each year we seem to improve our process. It seems to take a little less time of coordination, what have you, because we know what to do, and the city folks know what to do, and it works really great. We've established Sunday, July 6th, 2014 as our next show date. I'm a little concerned how close it is to the 4th, and city resources, because they'll be busy on the 4th, but I've talked to some of the department heads, and they say go for it. If that's your normal date, we'll be there. Our committee continues to meet at least monthly to plan the show, and we're doing that. Our next meeting is September 18th. We continue to hope that the downtown businesses will get more involved. We have grown in their involvement, but we could still use a lot more. The piazza is turning out to be just a wonderful place for events like this. I mean, it's just, the city really did a great job in developing that park. And we do our registration and presentation of awards at the piazza. It works out really good. At this time, I'd like to ask the police chief, Kevin Milosevic. Kevin, to please come forward. Chief, hello. I want to present you with the check in the amount of $17,500.
Oh, fantastic.
And for all the support we get throughout the year, we just realized we should be giving you folks a sponsor plaque. So we're giving you that too.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for everything you do and wisely spend the money, we know that. So far...
Jim, if you could turn around so Kelly can get a picture of you with the chief.
Great. Thank you.
I'm gonna give one to you guys, hang on.
So far, we've raised right about $200,000 over the years. Chief?
Thank you very much. For those who had the opportunity to go to the car show, it was another beautiful day in downtown Renton. The weather in the last several years has just been outstanding. And the crowds were wonderful, the cars were outstanding, and the best news is through all their hard efforts throughout the year, the money goes back to the community in a wide variety of scholarships for youth programs in our city. So I'd like to thank the committee, thank the sponsors, and thank all the people that showed up for the car show.
Thank you, Chief. And Jim, I want to thank you for your tremendous work that you put on, and also all of the Piazza Renton volunteers. We say this, it seems like every other week, because you guys are always volunteering for something for this city, but it makes such a difference. And, to receive a check for $17,500 to help youth in the community is absolutely wonderful. So thank you very much. And Suzanne, it's great to see you tonight.
It is.
Okay, moving on to administrative report, Mr. Covington.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, have 5 items I want to just bring to your attention. Another busy week ahead for us with lots of fun activities for folks. Wednesday, August 14th will be the Cascade Neighborhood Picnic. That will be at the Cascade Elementary School at 5:30. Also that night, for those of you who aren't members of the Cascade Neighborhood, you can run on down to Coulon Park. The Cream Tangerine will create a dynamic live Beatles music experience at the park. That begins at 7 p.m. That's the last concert of the season, so be sure and go on down. Then on Thursday, the South Union Neighborhood Picnic will be held at Heritage Park, and that again is at 5:30 for members of that neighborhood. The Family Fun and Films movie on Friday the 16th is Hotel Transylvania. That's sponsored by the Cascade Village and Cascade Neighborhood Association. Seating begins at 7 p.m. with family entertainment at 7:45. The movie will be shown at dusk at the baseball field there at Cascade Village. And also on Friday, if you're not into movies, you can come on down and celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the Henry Moses Aquatic Center. That we have a tiki party going on from 8 to 10 p.m. Fun for all ages with swimming and live music under the lights. The cost is $5 per person. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Covington. Moving on to audience comment, we have 2 people that have signed up to address the council. When I call your name, please come to the podium, give your name and city of residence for the record, and you have 5 minutes. We have a timer right in front of the city clerk. First is Samuel Bellany.
Yep. Hi, my name is Sam Bellamio. I'm here with Stand Up America, and our organization is based out of Seattle, Washington, but we do a lot of work all around King County. And that's why I'm here today, is because you guys are a shining example. Alex came and spoke, and he's like, you gotta check their agenda out. These guys are doing it right. And honestly, you are. You have the mayor here, an executive branch, along with the legislative branch, the council. And Seattle doesn't do that. King County doesn't do that. They act as 2 separate bodies, as though it's president and Congress, as it's so far away from us we can't touch it. You give 5 minutes. This time, I don't even know if I can use all 5 minutes, to be honest. They only ever give you 2 minutes, and I'm just like cramming in there. They've trained me. But you give so much time for citizens to feel welcome, to give you their thoughts and ideas. And this is why I'm imploring you to help us get King County to open up their committees. They have committees that they meet almost daily, and you're not allowed to speak as citizens. Citizens aren't allowed into the decision-making process. You know, they'll let us speak before an ordinance is about to be put into law, but by that time they have their speeches written. Their votes already decided. So why are we even talking at that point when it's just going to happen nonetheless? So we need them to start changing their rules, but they won't listen to us. They'd rather call the sheriffs and remove us because we're not following the rules. The rules, they create the rules, so they're creating the problem. And that's what we're fighting for. We're just trying to get citizens involved, and citizens don't want to be involved if they're going to be removed by sheriffs because they want to speak about a different topic. And I'm speaking about King County, even though it has something to do with you, but it doesn't have anything to do with your agenda. And in King County, if it has nothing to do with the agenda, you can't speak. It's a huge problem we have. King County Executive Dow Constantine, he will not show where he meets for public meetings. So you can never address him openly and say, hey, what are you doing on the executive side? Can we fix this here? Can we fix this there? But they operate with almost $8 billion a year, and yet we can't speak about how they're proposing to use our money. And when the budget season does come up, we get the paltry 2 minutes, while they just spent the whole last 3 months deciding what they're going to do with the money that we're giving them. It's their salary. Dow Constantine makes $200,000 a year. That's $40,000 more than our governor. He's the executive branch, she's the executive branch. They both do almost the same exact job. Why is he being paid $40,000 more a year with our tax dollars? They're talking about a 17% cut in services to Metro Transit. 17% cut, and yet we can't find money. We have so much money. I mean, albeit we have to spend in certain areas a little less, but we have enough money. Our King County Council makes $135,000 a year. That's so much more. The average, I think, about 90% of Americans make less than $120,000. So they're at 135. They're at the top 3% of wage earners in America. This is obscene. When we have people in need for services, and we're just going to watch our city streets and county roads deteriorate, we're going to watch bridges become abandoned, but we're going to allow them to keep their salaries that high. We have 10,000 people homeless every single night. 10,000 people. That's a huge number. I think half are children. I believe that, right? Half children. So it's 5,000 children every single night. We have the King County Housing Authority. The director makes $200,000 a year. Federal limit is $155,000. He's making $45,000 over the federal limit because he found some loophole. It's dishonest. It's disgusting. We need leaders and elected officials to step up to the plate. We need you guys to help us write a letter and force them to start doing things on behalf of the citizens. King County is a mafia. They have control over everything. They're in downtown Seattle during work hours. Citizens are at work, can't make it there, find parking, and make it back during their lunch hour. And they don't even hold it during lunch hour. They'll hold it at 1:30 p.m. just after lunch, so you can't make it there to talk to your elected officials. We have so many problems in our county that can't be addressed unless we have you standing up. You guys are elected to represent us as citizens and to fight for our tax dollars, to fight for the Constitution, whether it be the U.S. or the state Constitution. I say everything that's in my head. That's all I have to say. But please stand up and start working with us to help stop the corruption in King County.
No, you have 54 minutes.
I get so much time.
See, guys, we're doing this for 3 years almost every time in King Country. We cannot speak. My name is Alex Zimmerman, and I represent Stand Up America. Guys, Sam very nice man, and he will speak very good. I have a little bit different experience. Half my life I spent in Soviet Union. Almost half my life I spent in Soviet Union, and I have experience with communist and KGB. My family have experience with German Nazi and Gestapo. So I'm from different generation, baby boomer generation. What is we have right now, guys, is a nightmare. The biggest and richest empire in the world, country what is I love, bring right now crook like consul in King Country, in similar crook what is everywhere right now, bring us to collapse. This don't have a sense, guys. We have a $15 trillion GDP. It's a 25% from old world GDP. We don't have money. But about King Country, in King Country Council. This King Country Council exists for 40 years. So every year approximately $8 billion budget. $8 billion budget is a ton of money. I don't think so somebody in this room, and I speak not only to you, I speak to 100,000 people in Renton. It's important. People is important. Nobody probably know what is mean $8 billion by 100. I think this will be size like this room. You understand about it talking? It's a ton of money. So this crook, 9 crook, operate every year for many years with $8 billion. We're not involved in this business totally. Who's this money? To who belongs this money? It's us money. It's a business's money. It's a people money. Taxes. We own this money. It's us money. It's my money. It's your money. It's money of 100,000 people who live in Renton, American citizen. So situation right now very simple. From point of view of business, it's idiotic, absolutely situation. In analogy come only in my head, in Stand Up America head. So something like this happened before in Chicago in Tory, when you have these people who have name not touchable. Al Capone, I think, you understand? It's exactly what is we have right now in King Country. It's people not touchable. You cannot sue these people. You cannot speak about these people. By definition, this is not only against United States Constitution and freedom of speech, but as we have for 200 years. America first country in new history who bring freedom to people 200 years ago. And after this, many countries go. We come right now. So right now, everybody approximately civilized country, approximately 80 civilized country have more freedom than United States of America. We right now looking more dangerous than Soviet Union communists, China, and German Nazi. Because we have democracy definition for 200 years. No one country have this. We have this 200 years. So what is we have right now? A monopoly. So King Country Council is a crook, a mafia. So we come to you for one particular reason. Reason number one, we want to speak to 100,000 people who live in Renton, American citizen, and everybody pay taxes like every civilized country doing. And we want to speak to you because when you don't make a changes, this not only because you not can doing this, it's because you support King Country Council. This means you identical. So situation very simple. When you don't doing this, I can use this very simple expression. Let me know who your friend and I will know who you are. So situation very simple. In Renton is totally different from many rich city because Renton have too many problems. You know what is meaning? Not too much rich city. So $8 billion can be very effective in your personal business, mean to everybody. Includes street, buses, blah, blah, blah. So when we can speak, everybody, 2 million people, can speak openly in 300 meetings per year, what is King Country Council have. It totally close, almost totally close to people and explain about something. It will be very effective. It will be very effective for Renton. It will be very effective for you. So your duty, open this Pandora box, stopping this crook who for 40 years steal from us. Don Constantine, for 4 years, what is he on? Steal from us $32 billion. For 4 years, $32 billion. 4 years, $32 billion. Never report to people. No one Q&A. Our manager, executive who operate with $32 billion for 4 years. Guys, what is this, a joke? Are you understand about what you're talking? It's a $32 billion, no one Q&A. It's by definition, he's a criminal. What? No, it's 5 minutes, look.
I'm sorry, your 5 minutes are up, and you actually picked up his 15 seconds too. You did very well.
Next time it will be only 4 minutes. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Guys, you need something doing. You know what this means?
Thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda, council, we have 4 items for your consideration. Are there any items that council member would like pulled for discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Zwicker.
I'd like to pull item B.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Corman.
I move approval of the consent agenda minus item B.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Corman, seconded by Mr. Taylor, that council concur with the consent agenda minus item B. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Zwicker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, on item B, very appropriate for consent, and I'm completely in favor of it. I just thought it was worth highlighting that this was the medical transport fee that back when we had to create our budget, our biennial budget, that we needed to make sure that we were able to come up with a balanced budget. I know that I think a lot of my fellow council colleagues had to take a tough swallow on that one. There wasn't something that we were particularly excited about doing, which was charging for transport when insurance was involved. And I know that our brothers and sisters at the fire local were far from happy with it and for us for passing it. So I just want to say I'm thrilled to see that again, through great budget planning by Ewan and the finance team, that it doesn't look like at this point it's necessary for us to put this fee in to keep everything in balance. And with that, I move that council concur on item B of the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Zwicker, seconded by Mr. Person, that council concur with consent item B. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to unfinished business, Mr. Corman.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Taylor?
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Zwicker?
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
And Ms. Breyer?
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Prince?
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
And Mr. Person?
No unfinished business.
Okay, Ms. Palmer?
Yes, the Transportation Aviation Committee's been
Somebody's been working.
They've been working.
Okay.
Transportation Aviation Committee Report, East Side GA Apron Rehabilitation Contract. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the contract with Icon Materials in the amount of $195,406.04 for the East Side GA Apron Rehabilitation Project. This is signed by the 3 committee members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Palmer?
I move that council concur with the committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Palmer, seconded by Mr. Taylor, that council concur with the Transportation Aviation Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Transportation Aviation Committee Report, Supplement to Lower Blast Fence Project Contract. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve Supplement Number 3 in the amount of $204,000 to the contract with URS Corporation for design and engineering services for the Lower Blast Fence Project. The committee further recommends that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign the supplement. This is signed by the 3 committee members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Palmer?
I move that council concur with the committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Palmer, seconded by Mr. Taylor, that council concur with the Transportation Aviation Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Palmer?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
for those of you that it wasn't clicking, that the Lower Blast Fence Project is the red and white checkered blast fence at the south end of the airport. If you want to have a picture of that icon, you better get over there because that's going to be taken down and a new blast fence put in. But that will, it won't be red and white checked, but we're hoping to have it have some artistic component, maybe the history of Boeing represented there with the different aircraft. But it also will be lower, and that will help the noise level of the planes coming and going, because now they kind of do a dive over it. So that should help with the noise reduction as well.
Thank you.
That was
Person?
great. Well, Mr. Mayor, I give you a little history. The reason that blast fence was so high was that when they had the 727s, it wasn't that high, and they blew a couple trucks over on the airport way because from the blast from the 727s. So they built it up higher, and that whole thing is made out of plywood, and it's rotting on. Well, it looks great. The paint is holding it together, so it'll be easy to take down. So it's going to be a great improvement.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Transportation Aviation Committee Report, I-405 North Renton Interchange Turnback Agreement. The Transportation Committee reviewed the I-405 North Renton Interchange Turnback Agreement and recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to adopt the resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute the turnback agreement with the Washington State Department of Transportation. The committee further recommends that the resolution regarding this matter be presented for adoption. This is signed by the 3 committee members.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Palmer?
I move that council concur with the committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Palmer, seconded by Mr. Taylor, that council concur with the Transportation Aviation Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Ms.
I just
Palmer.
want to give a little explanation on what this is. 405, you'll help me out, guys, if I don't get this right. 405 had control or right-of-way of the portion of, we call it that intersection where it's Park, Logan, Lake Washington Boulevard, Garden, from the 405 freeway to that intersection. Well, in the planning of all the construction that we're just getting through, it came to the attention of both WashDOT and city staff that it really complicated the process because everything had to go through WashDOT before it could be complete, and it was unnecessary. So it was agreed by both parties that at the end of that, they would turn it over the right-of-way to the city. And when we asked if it would have saved time, they said, what, 6 to 8 months on it? 5%, which equaled about $100,000. So this is a good thing. I just wanted to say why it was important for us. And now we have control over it, and things should work better.
And we keep money in our pocket.
Pardon me?
And we keep money, too.
Yes.
That's right.
And now I'm done.
No, thank you very much. That's good. Explanation is great. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on to resolutions and ordinances. We have one resolution and one ordinance for second and final reading.
The resolution regards the I-405 North Interchange Turnback Agreement. A resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into an interlocal agreement with the State of Washington Department of Transportation regarding the South Lake Washington roadway improvements.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Palmer.
I move the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Palmer, seconded by Mr. Corman, that this resolution be adopted as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
The the ordinance for second and final reading regards the 2013 second quarter budget amendment. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, amending the City of Renton fiscal years 2013-2014 biennial budget as adopted by ordinance number 5682 and thereafter amended by ordinance number 5686 in the amount of $8,292,577.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Breyer.
I move this this ordinance be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Breyer, seconded by Mr. Person, that this ordinance be adopted as read. Requires a roll call.
Mr. Corman?
Aye.
Mr. Taylor?
Aye.
Mr. Zwicker?
Aye.
Ms. Breyer?
Aye.
Mr. Prince?
Aye.
Mr. Person?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor. All ayes.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Bonnie. Moving on to new business, Mr. Corman.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a committee of the whole meeting to announce. It's for, make sure I get the date right, August 19th, 2013, that's next Monday, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. in the Council Conferencing Center. It's a committee of the whole meeting, and we will be covering two issues. First is emerging issues in finance, CIP criteria, fund balance policies, and that's a briefing only. And the second item is the second quarter financial report, and that is also a briefing only. And that's all, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Taylor.
No committee reports, committee meetings, Mr. Mayor, but I would like to refer something into the committee of the whole committee. I received, and we all received an email from an individual named Andrew Harmon, who is an employment consultant with a company called Provail. And what he's interested in is to meet with the council and do a presentation regarding supported employment for individuals with disabilities. And he's been successful in doing this kind of thing with the city of Seattle and other municipalities. And so I thought it'd be good for us to give him a listen. And with that, I would move that we put this into the committee of the whole. Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Taylor, second by Mr. Corman, that email correspondence from Andrew Harmon be referred to committee of the whole. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
And I've got a copy of it here for Bonnie.
Okay. Thank you.
Did we get that?
Mr. Zwicker.
I never received that email.
Ms. Breyer said she never received the email that we're discussing, so.
I didn't remember it.
To make sure we all get it.
Okay, I'll give this to...
Yes, I'm calling out a Planning and Development Committee meeting for Monday, August 19th, beginning at 9 a.m. It'll be held in the Council Conferencing Room. Excuse me, so let me try that one more time. Council Conference Room, 9 a.m. 3 items. First one is the Benson Hill Community Plan, and that is a briefing. Second is Comprehensive Plan Update, and that is a briefing. And the third is City Center Plan Priorities, and that is also a briefing. That is all, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Breyer?
Yes, Finance Committee will meet next Monday, August 19th, from 4 to 5 p.m. We have 3 items: vouchers, emerging issues and revenue streams, which is a briefing, and the Coulon Park log boom replacement project. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Prince?
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Person?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I want to announce that the Public Safety Committee will meet next Monday, August 19th, in the council conference room at 5 p.m. And there are 2 topics on for briefing only. One is an update on the photo enforcement program, and the second is police department staffing.
Okay,
Like I say, they're briefing onlys.
all right, thank you. Ms. Palmer?
I don't have any new business, but I just want to give a special shout out to the staff at the Henry Moses Aquatic Center. They do wonderfully every day, but they did particularly great on Friday night at a private rental and just went above and beyond what anyone would have expected. So just want to let them know that it's appreciated.
Thank you, and thanks for the email, because we make sure the staff sees that. So
Thank
thanks.
you.
Okay, moving on to audience comment. Is there anybody who would like to address the council? What's the wish of the council?
Will we adjourn?
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Person, seconded by Mr. Prince, so we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.
Disasters or any kind of a disaster, mainly in our own neighborhood.